The aim of this presentation is to offer a detailed overview of accommodation options, weather conditions in the UK, and practical tips for HCPC registration. Furthermore, a personal narrative from an existing international allied healthcare professional has been included. This exchange of lived experience aims to facilitate a smooth transition for upcoming international allied healthcare professionals, providing valuable insights and support as they embark on their careers within the NHS. Our goal is to equip the international allied healthcare professionals with the tools necessary to navigate the cultural and ethical intricacies of working in the UK, inspiring and empowering them to embrace the opportunity and not only to relocate but also stay and thrive confidently. Sandra Wood is a practice learning and developmental lead in Allied Healthcare Professionals Faculty and plays a vital role in the recruitment of international allied healthcare professionals. She serves the West Yorkshire region, including Bradford, Leeds, Calderdale, Halifax, and Airedale areas. Her role involves supporting both managers and their new international recruits, offering pastoral support whenever needed. She provides support for international recruiters in communication, both before and after arrival in the UK, guidance on interview questions and techniques, advice on pre arrival requirements specific to England, assistance with accommodation, schools, supermarkets, and religious places, recommendations for for furniture stores, visa applications, flights, and airport transfers, facilitation of essential first-day necessities such as BRP cards, GP registration process, bank account setups, settling into the accommodation, and an introduction to the West Yorkshire area. She also provides employment and education guidance for the family members of international recruiters, introducing the newcomers to the area they will be living in, and she is also ensuring ongoing and permanent contact for assistance. Upon the initial arrival of international allied healthcare professionals in the UK, all organizations provide a minimum of 4 weeks of accommodation. However, the duration and location of this accommodation will vary from organization to organization, and details of this will be provided to them individually. During this time, it is important for international allied healthcare professionals to start thinking about what they want to look for in regards to longer term accommodation following this initial period. Differences in housing prices depends on area to area. Alongside this, it is important to consider the distance of travel to your place of work and the type of accommodation that would best suit you. As an international allied healthcare professional, you may face multiple challenges related to accommodation because of limited knowledge of the local housing market and unfamiliarity with available tenancy options and agreements in the UK. Therefore, it is crucial for you to familiarize yourself with the local housing market in your desired living or working area. This entails the understanding of rental expenses, housing accessibility, desirable neighborhoods, and relevant legal or cultural factors associated with housing. There are three different categories of rental properties, such as furnished, part furnished, and unfurnished. In unfurnished property, you will pay for the property. Only hard fittings such as kitchen cabinets and bathroom fixtures are usually included without additional furniture. This allows you to personalize the space with your own furniture and decorations according to your preferences. Choosing a second-hand furniture is a cost-effective choice. Gumtree and eBay websites, alongside with local charity shops, are good places to start. Alternatively, you can also consider asking colleagues if they have any extra furniture available. There are multiple advantages of unfurnished properties, such as cost saving. Generally, unfurnished properties tend to have low rental or purchase prices compared to furnished ones. This can initially save you money as you select furniture according to your own budget and needs. Personalized. With an unfurnished space, you have the freedom to decorate and furnish it according to your own taste and needs. This allows you to create a living environment that reflects your style and preferences. Flexibility. Having an empty space provides flexibility in terms of furniture choices, layout, and design. You are not confined to the existing furniture and can easily rearrange or modify the space as you desire. Personal items. You can bring in your own furniture and personal belongings, which often have emotional value and make the space feel more like home. Long-term investment. Investing in your own furniture can be a long-term investment as these items can move with you to future homes. Lower maintenance. Since the property comes without furnishing, there is generally less wear and tear, resulting in potential lower maintenance costs. Second category is part furnished. In part furnished properties, some items will be included. Typically, this will include essential basic items such as a sofa, beds, washing machine, or fridge. This will vary from property to property. The final category is fully furnished properties. This will be an instantly livable property with hard and soft furnishing provided throughout, such as a sofa, table, chairs, beds, and wardrobes. It would also include white goods, a cooker, washing machine, a fridge freezer, and maybe a dishwasher. A landlord might charge a little more for a furnished property, but it usually works out cheaper. Fully furnished properties have many advantages, for instance, convenience. Moving into a fully furnished space means you do not have to worry about purchasing furniture. Everything you need from essential items to decor is already in place, saving you time and effort. Immediate living. You can start living comfortably as soon as you move in without the hassle of setting up or buying furniture. This is particularly beneficial for individuals or families looking for immediate accommodation. Cost and time saving. While the initial cost might be higher compared to an unfurnished property, but it can save you money and time in the short term as you do not need to purchase furniture separately. Flexibility and mobility. For those who move frequently or temporarily, a furnished property offers the advantage of not having to transport furniture, making the moving process easier. Temporary living arrangements. If you're in a situation where you need short-term accommodation, a fully furnished property provides a convenient solution without the commitment of moving furniture or buying furniture. However, the decision between unfurnished and furnished properties ultimately depends on your individual preferences, lifestyles, duration of stay, and specific needs at the time of renting a property. There are two types of private properties available, such as private accommodation through letting agencies and private letting. The first one is private accommodation via a letting agency. Letting agencies can be a great option for you, as it often providing a one-stop service, managing all aspects of the letting from contracts to maintenance and have numerous properties available. You can provide them a list of requirements, for example, two-bedroom in a certain area, furnished or unfurnished, and letting agents will provide you options and show you the properties. If you choose to use an agency, then your contract will be usually be held directly with them, and all aspects of your agreement will be between you and the agent. The agent then holds a separate relationship with the property owner. The second one is private letting. If you choose to let directly from the owner of a property, this is called private letting. The private owner, known as the landlord, will usually arrange a contract with you directly and will outline your responsibilities and roles. If you rent directly from a landlord, there are no agency fees that you need to pay. Your rental contract will be held directly with the property owner, and landlord will usually be your sole contact and assistance for any issues that arise. There are a number of services where you can search for private lettings, such as Zoopla, Rightmove, On the Market, and OpenRent. It is also important to know the difference between per week and per month rental rates. Some websites and letting agents will only show one or the other. However, few letting services such as Zoopla, you can find both the monthly and the weekly rate on their rental listing. It is easier to assume the monthly rate is just the weekly amount multiplied by 4, but that is not quite right. If you see a weekly rate, then multiply the figure by 52 to get the annual rental cost. Then divide this by 12 to get the monthly rental rate. For instance, a £250 weekly rate translates to an annual cost of £13,000 and a monthly rental rate of £1,083. It might not seem like a huge difference, but it adds up to a lot over the course of a year. Documents check. When applying for a rented property in the UK, you as a non-British national, need to provide a proof of your right to rent a property in the UK. There are two ways to do this, such as by applying online for a share code. You can access this code on the www.gov.uk view proof immigration status website. To get a share code, you will need your date of birth and details of one of the following: your biometric residence permit, a residence card, or your passport or national identity card. If you do not have a share code, you can use your immigration documents to prove your right to rent. Rental security deposits payment. Most rental contracts require a deposit payment. A rental security deposit is usually 5 weeks' rent. Therefore, try to plan ahead and save enough money to cover it. This is a set amount that you need to pay separately from the rent, which is held by the landlord to make sure that you return the property and any furnishing in the same condition. Some deposit may also be retained by a landlord for the property to be cleaned after you leave. Your landlord must return your deposit within 10 days of you both agreeing how much you will get back. Most landlords accept bank transfers, debit cards, or checks. However, some will accept cash but ask for a receipt in case you need proof of how much you paid in the future. The deposit is held in a registered the deposit should be held in a registered deposit protection scheme. Rent guarantor. Some letting require an additional guarantor. A rent guarantor is a person or service that agrees to take responsibility for a tenant's rental obligations in case the tenant is unable to fulfill them. It is a form of assurance for the landlord, ensuring that they will receive the agreed upon payments even if the tenant faces difficulties fulfilling their rental commitments. Typically, this would be an UK national on whom a full referencing for credit and employment can be carried out. Your pastoral officer can play a role of your guarantor. Remote viewing and selection. In some situations, you might find it challenging to personally visit a property you are interested in due to work obligations or distance. In this case, you require assistance from your pastoral officer who can arrange remote viewing and offer video tour on your behalf. This will help you to gather essential information to make well-informed decisions about your property accommodation, about your potential accommodation. Signing a contract. Once you sign a contract, it is legally binding, and you may not be able to break this without the landlord's permission. You cannot just walk away and switch to a different property unless the house is legally unsafe. This is why you should not sign a contract in rush and make sure you are happy with the property and location before making any decision. As a tenant, you have several rights, and awareness of your rights can empower you. This knowledge ensures a fair and lawful landlord-tenant relationship, providing ways to address any potential issues or disputes that may occur during your tenancy. Knowing your rights as a tenant is crucial for several reasons, such as legal protection. Understanding your rights ensures you are protected by law. It empowers you to demand fair treatment and prevent potential exploitation or unfair practices by landlords. resolving disputes. If conflicts arise with the landlord regarding the lease terms, maintenance, or eviction, knowing your rights allow you to address these issues and seek resolution through legal means. Financial security. Being aware of your rights can prevent financial exploitation, such as illegal rent hikes or unjustified security deposit deductions. Living conditions. Your rights often cover aspects related to habitability and the landlord's responsibility for maintaining a safe and habitable living space. Familiarizing yourself with these rights is crucial to guarantee that your living conditions adhere to the legal standards. Understanding responsibilities. Knowing your rights also means understanding your responsibilities as a tenant, which can contribute to a healthy landlord tenant relationship and a smoother renting experience. As a tenant, you have several rights. For instance, live in a property that is safe and in a good state of repair, have your deposit returned when the tenancy ends, and in some circumstances, have your deposit protected. Know who your landlord is, live in the property undisturbed, see an energy performance certificate for the property, be protected from unfair eviction and unfair rent, and have a written agreement if you have a fixed term tenancy of more than 3 years. If you have a tenancy agreement, it should be fair and comply with the law. If you do not know who your landlord is, you need to write to the person or company you are paying rent to. Landlord can be fined if they do not give the tenant their information within 21 days. Responsibilities as tenants. As a tenant, you should give your landlord access to the property to inspect it or carry out repairs. Landlord has to give at least 24 hours notice and visit at a reasonable time of day, unless it is emergency and landlord need an immediate access. As a tenant, you must also take good care of the property. For example, turn off the water at the mains if you are away in cold weather. Pay the agreed rent even if repairs are needed or you are in dispute with your landlord. Pay other charges as agreed with the landlord, for example, council tax or utility bills. Repair or pay for any damage caused by you, your family, or friends. Only sublet a property if the tenancy agreement or your landlord allows you. You are not obligated to undertake repairs that falls under the landlord's responsibility. In the event of damage to another tenant's residence, such as water leaks from an overflowing bath, you are liable for covering the repair expenses. Moreover, you are financially responsible for addressing any damage caused by the actions of your family and friends. If your property requires repairs or has signs of mold, contact your landlord immediately. This is especially urgent for issues that could pose health risks, such as fault electric wiring. Your landlord should provide you an estimated timeline for the repairs. If repairs remain unaddressed, seek assistance from your local council's environmental health department. They are obligated to intervene if they perceive the problem as potential hazard to your well-being or as causing inconvenience to others. Moreover, your landlord has the right to take a legal action to evict you if you do not meet your responsibilities. Landlord's responsibilities and rights. Your landlord is responsible for maintaining the safety of the property you reside in and ensuring that it is free from health hazards. There are three main types of hazards, which include gas safety, electrical safety, and fire safety. Gas safety. Your landlord is required to ensure that the gas equipment they provide are safely installed and maintained by a registered engineer. Arrange for a registered engineer to conduct an annual gas safety check on every appliance and fuel source. Provide you with a copy of the gas safety check record either before you move in or within 20 days of the check being completed. Electrical safety. Regarding electrical safety, your landlord is obligated to ensure the safety of the electrical system, including sockets and light fittings, the safety of all appliances they provide, such as cookers and kettles, fire safety. Furthermore, the landlord is required to adhere to the safety regulations, supply a smoke alarm on every floor and a carbon monoxide alarm in any room containing a solid fuel burning appliance like a coal fire or wood burning stove. Ensure that you have access to escape routes at all times. Landlord's rights in the UK. In the context of private letting, landlords have certain rights which include right to rent. Landlords have the right to verify the immigration status of potential tenants. Right to evict. Landlords can evict tenants through legal procedures if they violate tenancy terms or fail to pay a rent. Right to receive rent. They have the right to receive rent payments as per the agreed terms and conditions. Right to entry. Landlords can enter the property for inspections or repairs, providing reasonable notice is given to the tenants. Right to recover damages. They can claim compensation for damages beyond fair wear and tear caused by tenants. Rights to end tenancy. Landlords can terminate a tenancy at the end of the agreed term or through specific legal procedures if there are grounds of eviction. Weather conditions in the UK. One of the challenges that you may face in the UK is the weather difference compared to your countries of origin. England is known for having many types of weather in one day. Wind and rain can sometimes make it feel colder than what weather reports state. In the UK, we often talk about the weather. This is just because the weather is very unpredictable. If you come from a hot country, it may be difficult to get used to a colder, wetter climate, especially during the winter months. Although sometimes we experience some of the warm, driest weather in the UK, however, we can still experience lots of rain even during the summer. It also gets dark very early in the winter, which can cause some people to feel low or even depressed, especially if you are used to sunny, brighter weathers. It is important to know about the different seasons we experience in the UK before pacing appropriately for your arrival. Winter. Winter sets in with an average temperature ranging between 5 degrees Celsius to 7 degrees Celsius. It is the coldest month of the year and also has the shortest amount of daylight. Temperatures can get as low as 0 degrees Celsius with wet, windy, and sometimes icy mornings. Items of clothing that you may be considered are including a coat, gloves, hat, boots, or trainers, and an umbrella. Spring. During spring, March to May, temperatures typically range from 8 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. Temperatures begin to get slightly warmer and less harsh than the winter months, although we do still experience cooler days and rainfalls, so coats and jackets are still recommended. Summer. During summer, the average temperature ranges between 18 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. Typically, our summer days lean towards warmth, occasionally experiencing heat waves that soar up to 30 degrees Celsius. This period marks the longest days of the year, yet it can also bring about humid and cloudy conditions alongside the warmth. Autumn. In autumn, temperatures typically range from 8 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius in the UK. This is the transition between summer and winter and also comes with the biggest range of weather in the UK. During this time, we can experience warm summery days but getting to the cold wintry weather towards the second half of the season. It is a good idea to have a range of clothing items on hand for whatever the weather may bring. As in the UK, the weather can change suddenly, therefore, it is important to check the weather forecast on your mobile app before leaving and being prepared if it is expected to change. BBC Weather and Met Office are useful websites to find out what the weather will be like throughout the day and also for the upcoming week. You can access this through the website, but it can also be downloaded onto your mobile as an app. Met Office warning signs and their impact. As the UK's official weather service, the Met Office is responsible for issuing weather warnings, which warn of impacts caused by severe weather. Their warnings are designed to let people, businesses, emergency responders, and government know what weather is in store and what the impacts of that weather may be. They provide warnings up to 7 days ahead for rain, thunderstorm, wind, snow, lightning, ice, extreme heat, and fog. It is very important to familiarize yourself with the Met Office warning signs and understand their meanings. The Met Office issues weather warnings using a color coded system to indicate the severity of expected weather conditions. Usually, Met Office issues three types of warnings: yellow warning, amber warning, and red warning. Yellow warning. It can be issued for a range of weather situations and often issued when it is likely that the weather will cause some low level impacts, including some disruptions to travel or daily routines in certain areas. It is essential to assess personal impact as some individuals might be directly affected. Amber warning. There is an increased likelihood of impacts from severe weather, which could potentially disrupt people's plans. This means there are potential disruption to travel with the possibility of road closures, power cuts, and risks to life and property. Consider altering plans and taking precautions to protect yourself and your belongings. Red warning. Red warning means that dangerous weather is expected and immediate action is required to keep yourself and others safe. There is a high risk to life with substantial disruptions expected, including travel, energy supplies, and significant damage to the property and infrastructure. Avoid travel if possible and follow advice from emergency services and local authorities. These warnings are issued to inform and prepare the public, emergency services, and authorities for anticipated weather conditions. They help individuals and organizations to take necessary precautions, plan ahead, and mitigate risk associated with severe weather events. Impact of weather on daily life, transportation, and activities. Weather conditions can affect transportation network, especially in snowy or icy conditions. When snow falls in the UK, it can quickly lead to impact on transport networks. Road and air transport organizations help mitigate possible disruption by taking winter maintenance actions, such as gritting and plowing. When accompanied by strong wind, snow can drift, and this can cause large variation in snow depth and make it difficult to clear roads, railways, and runways. Exposure to snow and cold temperatures can increase the chance of hypothermia, cold related injuries, and health complications. Delays in public transport, including trains, buses, are common during extreme weather in the UK. Outdoor activities. The weather influences outdoor activities significantly. In winter, activities may shift indoor or include winter sports in regions with snow. Clothing and lifestyle. The weather dictates clothing choices, with layers and waterproof gear essential during rainy or colder periods. Daily plans often adapt to winter changes, with outdoor events subject to alteration or cancellation due to weather conditions. School closures and flexible work policies in snowy weather. Schools may close or delay opening times due to heavy snowfall or dangerous weather conditions. These closures are announced through council websites, media broadcast, or direct communication from the school. Employers often implement flexible work arrangements during extreme weather conditions, such as remote work options or adjusted schedules. Top tips for staying well in the winter. Keep warm and stay well. Layer clothing to maintain body heat and ensure your home is adequately heated. Ideally, you should heat your home to a temperature of at least 18 degrees Celsius. This is crucial, especially for vulnerable population like the elderly or those with health conditions. Get on the priority register. This is a free service provided by water and electricity suppliers for older and people with disabilities, or if you depend on electricity to keep medical or mobility equipment running. Communication channels. Establish clear communication with your employer and work colleagues to keep everyone informed in case of emergencies or unexpected weather-related situations. Alternative transport routes. Plan alternative transport routes in case of disruptions in regular transportation due to weather related issues. Healthy diet. Maintain a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Those foods provide essential vitamins and minerals that support the immune system. Stay active. Exercise helps boost your immune system. Indoor activities like yoga, dancing, or even home workouts can keep you active during colder weather. Hand hygiene. Wash your hands regularly to prevent the spread of germs. Flu season. Typically, flu season in the UK occurs from late autumn to early spring. It might be a good idea to have a flu vaccination before or upon your arrival to reduce the risk of contracting the flu. It is important to maintain good hygiene practices to prevent the spread of viruses and seeking medical assistance if you experience flu-like symptoms. Additionally, if you're eligible, consider other vaccines that your health provider recommends. Prioritize mental health. Winter can sometimes bring seasonal affective disorder or worsen feelings of loneliness. Stay connected with your family and friends, engage in activities you enjoy, and seek support if you are feeling overwhelmed mentally or emotionally. These tips can significantly contribute to your well being during the winter season, but it is always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional for personalized advice, especially if you have specific health concerns. Important tips for HCPC registrants. Some additional tips were provided for new applicants by Davis Macedon, a senior National Allied Healthcare Workforce Improvement Lead at NHS England. Checklist. Check the required documents in the checklist on the HCPC website and attach all supporting documents in one email only. Applicants may mistakenly believe that they have submitted all required documents when in reality they might have overlooked some. Add documents. Make sure to include all the documents at the beginning. Normally, processing time for each application takes 60 days. However, applicants could experience additional delay if sending incorrect information. Get in touch with your referee as soon as possible after submitting the application, such as head of your university or college where you have obtained education or with the previous employer. Many delays are caused by waiting for references. Work emails. Applicants should only provide work emails because HCPC does not accept personal email addresses for references. Course information. Have your course information ready and stick to HCPC format. Do not provide transcript. Course information should be provided according to the HCPC format, such as which modules have been learned. Expected timeline. Expected timeline for each step is detailed on HCPC website. When the website says 15 days, it means 15 working days, which means 3 weeks, so set expectations accordingly. Find an application buddy who is completing the application at the same time, because having a buddy to go through a process helps managing stress and expectations. Ensure the English test, language test evidence is according to the HCPC guidelines. Standards of competency. Provide enough evidence for each competency in the standards. Do not focus heavily on some and leave others. Course information. Provide information about your course, how it strengthens and supplements some of competencies. When getting information from institutions such as course content, read it through and make sure it meets the requirement of HCPC. If there is any information missing, contact your institution. Extra information. If HCPC asks for extra information, provide it as soon as possible. CPD training. In some circumstances, it can take 6 to 8 months in application process, depending on individual applications. Instead of waiting and wasting time, make sure to strengthen your CV by getting a job in your field or attending a course set by your regulator in the UK. The impact of lived experiences of others. Sharing a lived experience of existing international NHS staff with upcoming international allied healthcare professionals can offer several benefits, such as navigating cultural challenges. As an international allied healthcare professional, you may face cultural differences in the workplace. Learning from the experience of others can help you to understand and navigate these challenges effectively. Understanding NHS systems. The NHS has its unique structure, procedures, and protocols. Learning from real life experiences can offer valuable insights into the system's functioning, help future recruits to adopt this system smoothly. Professional development. Hearing from the career progression, challenges, and successes of others within the NHS can provide guidance and motivation for aspiring allied healthcare professionals. Emotional support. Moving to a new country and starting a job in a different healthcare system can be overwhelming. Sharing experience can provide emotional support and a sense of belonging among international professionals. Practical tips and advice. Experienced staff can offer practical tips and advice on various aspects such as housing, local communities, work life balance, and integrating into the healthcare team. Building networks and connections. Interacting with existing international staff can help you as future allied healthcare professional to build a network of colleagues and mentors which can be invaluable for your professional growth and integration. Learning opportunities. Discussions about different clinical scenarios, patient care approaches, and professional challenges can offer you valuable learning opportunities. Enhancing diversity and inclusion. Sharing experiences foster an inclusive environment by acknowledging and valuing the diversity of experiences, cultures, and backgrounds within the NHS.
My name is Jane and I'm a specialist pelvic health physiotherapist. Yeah, this is exactly 1 year I've been to England. Yeah, in fact, 4 days ago, I was 1 year here, so I celebrated my anniversary. Yeah, 1 year anniversary. So I actually originally am from Nigeria. I came in here last year, November. Started with a hospital, an NHS trust in East England, and then eventually I'm here. I came here 2 months ago, which was in October, and it's been a good experience being around England. And I must say that settling in here initially wasn't easy when I started, especially when I started from the Eastern England. Okay, it wasn't easy because it's a big move, leaving your country to come to another place. A big move, I mean a big move. You're coming in with children, your family, to settle in, no accommodation. Before you came in, it was just a temporal accommodation in the hospital where I got to initially, which was just a 3-month accommodation meant for one person. And that was why my family didn't come immediately with me, because I couldn't accommodate them in the just a room. So at the end of the day, um, for those of you who are familiar, with what happens in England, Eastern England is very expensive. It's like your band six, your money is not even just enough to pay for the rent. That was a big challenge there. And that wasn't even the first challenge. The first challenge is that when you say you have, of course, the agents or the landlords who ask you, are you moving in alone? How many people are moving in with you? You say, I have 2 children. I have 3 children. They tell you 2-bed flat is not okay. you must get 3-bed flat, and men, 3-bed flats, the cost is more than your salary as a band 6. That's the way it is. The cost and the bills, your salary can't take care of it. So at the end of the whole day, it was so challenging. At the end of the day, honestly, I have to mention this because if the whole thing has to be known, it has to be known that it was so difficult. The accommodation manager in the hospital where I came from had to accommodate me in the hospital accommodation, had to put us in the accommodation there because it was 3 months for my family to come, and I just went to her, say, Sue, they are coming, and I used to tell her, your people, because I got so, so disorganized. Your people are not giving me accommodation. I have the money. I've saved up this money, but they are not giving me. They say I have 3 children, and it's 3-bed flat. Where would I get money for 3-bed flat? If I have to pay 1,500, that's 1,500 without bills. That means if I give bills of like 350, it won't be up to. So she was moved by compassion. She was so nice, and gave me accommodation in the hospital where we were for like 9 months before I came in here.
Do you have any understanding of housing categories like which are available in the market, such as furnished, part furnished, or fully?
Yes, I did. I did, because they specify it very well in the accommodation notes here. So I knew about furnished, unfurnished, semi-furnished.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you. So which accommodation have you chosen for your family?
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, when it was this particular one, when Sandy called me, I didn't ask of whether it was furnished or not. In fact, at the time,
You
Sandy,
just wanted,
I just wanted an accommodation. I told Sandy just anything where we will stay,
Right.
Yeah, because I already had that.
So did you get any challenges? You says it wasn't furnished. So did you get any challenges regarding furniture, like to find the furniture and all kind of stuff?
Yeah, a bit challenging, but I've got very friendly team here.
Right.
Honestly, everything I have in our house now, ranging from the furniture to the plates and everything, they brought in, even without asking them,
That's
but
brilliant.
It took some time, everything there was brought in by them. Initially, it was like, oh, how do we do it? Yeah.
So they were very helpful.
Very helpful, very helpful.
So you're very lucky you have a really supportive team.
Yeah, a very supportive team in Edel.
Thank you. So you just mentioned about, so did you view your property by yourself? Did you travel from your place to view your property, or did somebody else did it for you?
No, I didn't have to do that. Sandy did that. She was liaising with my people here, my team, with the line manager, with my team lead, and every other person in the pelvic health team here. She was just liaising with them. In fact, I didn't know what was happening. She was doing all the talking, contacting everyone, and she will call me. So eventually, she will go to the accommodations video. It was wonderful. Oh my God, I didn't know I could get such help.
So you just mentioned about, so did you view your property by yourself? Did you travel from your place to view your property, or did somebody else did it for you?
No, I didn't have to do that. Sandy did that. She was liaising with my people here, my team, with the line manager, with my team lead, and every other person in the pelvic health team here. She was just liaising with them. In fact, I didn't know what was happening. She was doing all the talking, contacting everyone, and she will call me. So eventually, she will go to the accommodations video. It was wonderful. Oh my God, I didn't know I could get such help.
So Sandy, your pastoral manager officer, so she helped you to do the video tour of your property?
It was Sandy that helped me to do the video of the property. She was talking with my line manager, about helping me with the accommodation. So Sandy will get to the accommodation video and show me and say, is it okay?
Right.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Was she your guarantor as well? Because obviously when you're buying when you're getting a property, renting a property in the UK, you need a guarantor. Then the letting agencies, they do some specific checks for the guarantor, and then they allow the person to be your guarantor.
I don't know how Sandy did it, but I know her personality did it.
I will just step in there.
Yeah.
So I went into the properties to view them for Jane, because Jane couldn't get here, and the letting agents want the person who's going to live in the house to view them. Right. So I explained I worked for the NHS and that Jane couldn't get here to view them, but I will call Jane on WhatsApp and video me with Jane on the call, letting her see the house, the area, the surrounding area and everything, so Jane could actually see the property.
Right.
And the letting agent decided to let us go with that, but then she needed a guarantor, yes, so I asked her manager here, and then me myself I guarantor.
This question is like, have you been asked to show your documents for right to rent a property in the UK?
Yes, yeah, that was done several times in the Eastern, in Barcelona specifically. I was in Barcelona, so that was done for every accommodation I went to view. I had to show the right to rent and every other thing. Yeah.
How did you do that? I mean, obviously there are two ways. One is like you share a code.
Share code, yeah.
So you managed to
exactly
share a code.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so you went to the www.gov.uk's website,
yeah,
and then you share a code
exactly.
with them so they can check all your
requirements
if
are
you have
okay.
a right to rent a
rent.
property in the UK.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Were you
much.
comfortable through that process doing that yourself?
Very comfortable. No, it doesn't take anything. You just browse in, your picture appears, and you share the code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a stress at all.
Simple,
Yeah.
straightforward.
Thank you. So when you rented the property, was you aware of the deposit payments, like, you know, the 5 weeks rent they get from you in advance?
Yes. It was communicated with me by Sandy and the agent, so we paid that.
Great.
Yeah.
So did you know about that time when you bought the, not bought, but when you rent the property, was you aware of your responsibilities as a tenant and your rights as a tenant as well?
Yeah, right. As a tenant, not so much. But responsibilities, I know that when you enter a house, you should keep the house clean. You should maintain every electrical appliances. You should, just handle it well. But the rights, as per what happens when something goes wrong, I can't say I know it fully.
Right.
But I know that if anything gets spoiled, which I've been doing over the time. One of the agents came to fix some things over the weekend. I've been calling them, if something gets, but I don't think I know that full right.
Right. If you don't mind, please.
All right.
I just want to know, like, have you faced any weather challenges when you came to UK?
Okay, challenges
Such as, like, do you, like, because the transportation, because, sometimes weather is really horrible and you can't find the transportation, there is disruption in transportation, schools and all kind of stuff. Have you faced something like that?
I think transportation is okay. Even in Barcelona, there our native food is more there than here. A major challenge we had was trying to feed children in school. It was so challenging there. So challenging there. You go, they put them in waiting list. You go here, they put them in. So at the time, we got one for them, but it was far. So they had to be taking buses, which I wasn't comfortable with because, I wasn't okay. But at the end of the whole day, they went there. And when we came here, I said everything was just working like the one in primary school will walk 5 minutes. The ones in secondary school will walk in. So when you are in a place where God wants you to be,
in the winter, how are you finding cold, snowy days, rainy days?
I'm enjoying it, and the children are enjoying it. It was like this time last year. Oh, it was horrible. When I came in here, it was cold, and we don't have winters in Nigeria. I was like, is this the winter? Is this we call it Obodo Ibo in Nigeria? Is this the Obodo Ibo? That is this the abroad? Is this the abroad? I hope this weather is not continuous. So when I saw summer, I was happier. So there could be and it was horrible last year.
That's me every year.
So I'm getting used to it. Yeah, yes. I'm getting used. But it wasn't funny last year. Oh, it wasn't funny. I don't forget 29th November 2022. I came in with three boxes with my hand carry. You could see cold, and I didn't dress like this. Every place was open because I didn't know what I was going to. I didn't even jacket I wasn't wearing. I was chilled, and there was snow like the following day.
So what would you recommend to the people who are coming from the warm countries?
Oh my God! They should be. Anybody coming to England should ask for the months that are winter. The months that are winter, please dress very well because I saw hell.
What do you think? What they need, like thicker coats, jackets? What would you recommend them?
Good trainers, good jacket from Nigeria or wherever you're coming from. If I've head warmer, everything, hand gloves, wear all of them because that my experience.